It's a wild day out there and I'm lucky that I can sow my vegetables indoors. And today I'm going to be the tomato queen. And here is the list of my tomatoes I'm growing. Part of it's tried and tested tomatoes I've grown over the years, and some of it's trialled tomatoes. And although there's a lot, it's really hard to resist growing tomatoes and choosing varieties. And I'm sure that there are many people who grow tomatoes that are exactly the same, can never decide what to grow. But I'm also growing for some other people on the allotment, so I don't feel quite so bad because I know that I can find good homes for them. And I grow a number of cherry tomatoes, what I call intermediate sized tomatoes, sort of about this sort of a size, and then the very large beefsteak. This year I'm going to grow them in these seed trays, and I've got some here. These are the rest of the kind of beefsteak ones, and a lot of these are heirloom tomatoes. So I'm just going to show you sowing a few, not all of them because there's an awful lot. So this is black and red boar, an heirloom tomato, which I should just pop on here. I'm going to sow all of these, not because I'm going to need them all, but because I've had these since last year and I'll want to buy fresh seed, so I don't really want to keep any of them. And then I shall label them, and once I've done the tray I'll come back to you. So I've sown all the tomatoes now, and I missed probably one or two out, and as I'm sowing them I'm thinking I'm going to regret this when it comes to potting them up. But anyway, I've done it and I know that there'll be plenty of takers for the tomatoes. So I'll show you them, the ones I've already pot up, but this is my last tray that I've put in. And I prefer you can just put ordinary compost on the top of the seeds, but I much prefer vermiculite when I'm sowing tomatoes, partly because it's light. It doesn't exclude the light. It doesn't exclude the light, and it keeps it moist. You can see if it gets too dry. So I'm just going to sprinkle some vermiculite over the seed tomatoes now. Because I watered the trays really well before I put the seeds in, I won't be watering these seed trays now for a little while, until they germinate. Now the other thing the tomatoes like to germinate is a constant warmth. Not hot, but a constant warmth and light. So I'm going to just pop these now over here on top of my tray here. So this is the last tray I put in, and here are the other two trays that I'd already sown. So it's slightly cooler here, but they get a lot of light, and I'm not going to touch them now for at least a few days, or if I see the vermiculite drying up, I will then give them a little spray using this. These are great for spraying seed tomatoes. You can get them very easily on Amazon or from some of the garden shops. They fit onto lots of different sorts of bottles, which is good. And when you're watering plants and seedlings, fill the bottles up the night before or a few hours before you want to water, because it helps the water acclimatise to the temperature of the room. If you take it straight from the tap, it's often ice cold and it might shock the seedlings and your plants a bit too much. So just kind of get it to room temperature a bit before you water. At the beginning of March, I put in 6 tomato seeds, because these are the ones that are going to go into the greenhouse. And they were 3 sun golds and 3 honeycomb. I haven't grown honeycomb before, but I understand it's a slightly better version of sun gold, and sun gold we absolutely love, and it's our favourite tomato. So I'm trialling the sun gold, the honeycomb, and I'm just going to prick out the tomatoes and pot them up now. So some people wait for a set of true leaves to come, and this is just about showing one of its true leaves, but I like to do them as soon as I can handle them. It just makes it easier, and the roots don't get tangled up when you're trying to separate them. So I'll just take this out, and I've lifted one here, and I put it in like so. So try and get as much roots as possible. Just pop it in, and I plant them to the codling leaves. That's the little seed leaves. And what I'll do is I'll stand these in some water and also give it a little drink from the top just to water them in. So I'll just show you the last one. And there you go. Last one's in the wonderful label, so I don't forget which one's which. And then I shall give them all a drink and do that with these. So if you've liked the content of this vlog, give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and press the bell icon that's next to it and select all, and you'll be notified of any future vlogs that I make. If they've got any comments or questions, put them in the box below, and I hope to see you when it comes to pricking out time. Happy growing your tomatoes. Take care. Bye-bye.